So here we are, back again, preparing for the evening meal. This is where the bridal party will sit. Guests are all taking their places nicely. Got a full tent. Groom's mother checking things out.
Hello everyone, my name's Dane and I'm Callum's sidekick this evening, so we're gonna run the show. Callum's gonna run the show.
Try to. Anyways, sorry for the wait folks, stuff happens. It's been a wonderful day, we can all be thankful of that. Just I guess a couple things I'm supposed to remind you guys very clearly of. There's going to be bookmarks on each of your placemats. Take those home with you. Have away. And they would like you guys to have after we welcome our couple. So, I'm going to call him the best sibling. Best for last. Really well. So, all you guys making the effort. There's some people who have come from thousands kilometers away, oceans and land, and I'm pretty sure. So. This show on the road. We, I guess, me, would like to explain a couple things while everybody's sitting. I have to tell Afton and Jim that I did remind everybody to bring the bookmarks and the eucalyptus and the sparklers. So that's your second reminder for those who aren't listening. And I guess one thing I want to mention throughout the night, haven't really ran this past Jim and Afton. This is more a personal thing I've done. So traditionally at weddings, you'll ding the glass to make the young couple kiss. My take on that is ding the glass, no dessert. To make the couple kiss, to actually make the couple kiss, there's going to be a couple dice up there, right in front of Afton and Jim, in a cup. And I'm going to tell you these rules maybe twice through the night, maybe. Just to keep you on your toes. If you roll a 1 or a 5, it makes kisses. A number 2 is a chicken dance, and everybody will be watching, so use those dice carefully. A number 3 is tell a kid-appropriate joke. Kid-appropriate. Number 4 is switch your shoes left to right for the rest of the night. Might throw a few of you off. And number 6 is you have to try pate. Jim loves pate, but there's some out there. I encourage you to try it. It's good. It's not for everybody, but you roll a 6, you're gonna try it, whether or not you like it. Other than that, I'm gonna say a few words maybe. Jim and Afton, congratulations. But really thankful for having Jim growing up in our household and around the area for the last couple of years. So someone to kind of be a brother, because Austin's been gone to Calgary and had a lot of similar interests. Someone who I can more compete with in golf. Jim's a little bit more level, better my level at golf. Austin's a lot better at golfing. No offense, Jim. Someone who's built a good motocross track for me and my buddies to ride, and himself to ride, and Uncle Ken, if you're out there, you're gonna get out there one of these days when it's dry. And it's just, there's lots of things you brought to this house that I'm very, very thankful for. I'm thankful for every single one of you standing up there with Afton and Jim. There's a reason why you're all up there. You're all very important. You're all very special. Some of them I know better than others. But nonetheless, sorry for the delay on food. I can't have any control over that. But I would like to welcome up Trisha Dangerfield to give us a speech.
Congratulations. I think on a day like today, we're all very much aware that you love each other. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. But just so that there are no assumptions, we love you too. When people fall in love, it's like a fire that gets started, and when you pour on fuel or you put the kindling in, and it just takes off, and it's this huge boom and a raging fire. But the reality is that fire doesn't burn for long, and it has limitations. And it's true that human love does have limitations. It even has a time limit. And I was noticing this afternoon when you said your vows, it was till death do us part. And there's a limitation right there, and you acknowledge that. But the thought expressed was before that raging natural love, that burst of fire and flame goes out, before the embers die down, to put something more substantial on the fire. And the thought expressed was divine love. And you share faith. You have that already. And you love God. And even the log that I felt like I witnessed you putting on your fire today was the one of commitment. And you do that also because you love God. And you have a healthy, respectful fear for him. Because we live in a time when commitment isn't necessarily an advantage, or it's not even esteemed as necessary, but you have esteemed it as necessary because you love each other, but also because you do have that belief that God loves commitment in a relationship. And it will help keep your fire of love going. But even as much as that maintains the fire, it needs to be added to. And I have a personal joy in seeing couples reach their first and second and third wedding anniversaries, because you know that that's the step to making it to 50 years. And we maybe won't be around to celebrate that with you if you're granted that time together. But it is our desire that the log of commitment that you've added on the fire today would be also that you continue to add that wood, that same wood to the fire, so that you could make it to the death do us part. And so we're just very, very thankful that you love God, that you have faith, that as you continue to grow in it, you have the very things that you need from God, that you can be true and that your love can be kept alive. And that's our desire for you. And I know that there are others far away who do wish you the very best also. And not just that you would enjoy life, but that you would grow, and that your lives would be pleasing to God, that your home would be pleasing to God, that you would know his approval. And so we're thankful that we're here today, and we do wish you all the very, very best.
Okay, just because of, or thank you very much, Tricia. Obviously, because of the caterer being delayed a little bit, we want to move this program forward. Don't want to be here all night. Not saying it's not a wonderful time, but nobody wants to sit in a chair all night. I've been in both positions. Well, maybe not the wedding party, but nobody likes sitting for too long. I guess the next thing we're going to do is we're going to call Jim's brother Charles up, and he's going to say a few words. There we go. There's the guy. Please? Please? I'm kind of surprising him on this. He's a champ for going in this order. Thank you very much, Charles.
Yes, so obviously I'm Jim's oldest brother. It was suggested that I might move forward in the programme. I thought I was last. I didn't realise it was going to be scriptural. Because evidently the last should be first. Oh my. No, that's a shopping. Well, where we start? I suppose my family and other animals. Because if you're the kind of characters that enjoy Jim's company, you're the kind of animals I like. And we know the kind of animal Jim is. So, I think it says something about Jim that this is the first and only wedding of an Everton, or indeed of any person that I know of, that's had a police presence from the start. Oh, sorry, okay. Right. Yeah, top tip, thank you. Right. Well, I suppose my thought was of that of understanding. Well, no, my first thought is actually that I do appreciate very much everybody that's opened their heart to my little brother. And has also opened their heart to us and their homes, and we just delight to be here. And I've got to know a little bit of some of you people already, and I'm touched. And I know that you're going to take good care of my little brother. I thought that could have be in my ear, perhaps. So, I guess it helps to understand people if you know a little bit more about them. I'm sorry. And it helps if you know about technology. And of course Jim, like all mankind, didn't come with a service manual. We still have the packaging, and I think like all parents, Mum has occasionally been found looking for the receipt, but unfortunately you can't return him unless he's in the packaging, and that's obviously not going to happen. However, when I was at the shops the other day, I did find a couple of things that might help. There is a manual for the husband. Yes, true. There is also a manual for the wife.
Is that just the first chapter?
There was a book on understanding women, but it had a lot of back pages and a pen, and it said, when you finish, send it back. We also have a book that will help Afton to understand Jim, because obviously he uses some Lincolnshire colloquialisms, duck, etc. That's the diploma. This is the degree. So Jim, I guess it helps us to understand Jim when we realise that he was a compromise. In our household, there were slightly more beds than bodies. There was a little bit of room left in the van, and most importantly, to those of you, particularly my mum, there was a quantity of part-worn children's clothes. It has to be said they were mostly girls, but so it seemed like there was a solution to be found, but what to order? So far, Dad at that point had 3 spindly train spotting types, and we just love that we can hear the locomotives from here. And if we go missing this evening, we'll be down at the trestle. Mother, on the other hand, had one multifunctional, very talented daughter. So I think Dad's ambition was that perhaps we'd have a more robust character to look after the estate, and Mum perhaps had more in mind somebody to keep her daughter company. So who knows? Maybe the stork was having a bad day. Maybe you've got a bad line. It's always quite difficult to get hold of the stork when you've got 4 kids. So maybe they were interrupted. But anyway, whatever happened, the delivery was indeed a stocky lad who played with his sister's toys, didn't wear her clothes, fortunately, and was specifically designed to wear things out. If you've got any power tools, cars, lawnmowers, any mechanical machinery, Jim's your man, and in fact, we've got just what he needs, duct tape. And we got it in the wedding colours. It'll fix everything except catering, apparently. So little Jim, I still remember when Mum and Dad told me that Mum was going to have a baby, and in the kitchen it was a very special moment. And I have to say that baby Jim was the apple of my eye. There are 12 and a half years between myself and Jim, and so the 6 months or so seemed like forever. And we were out playing trains, and Dad came out and said, Mum's had a little boy, which of course was not an unusual event. We'd had several other children in the house by then. At the time, I think Jim was only 3 or 4 months old when he slept in my bedroom, and he did so until he was probably certainly well into toddler years, maybe even older. So I know Jim, I know his nappies really well. Jim, obviously there's several of us, so we wouldn't want to smear his character all at once, so I'll spread it out between us. But I think one of my fondest memories of Jim when he was little was one Sunday morning, and we were preparing to go out to the meeting, and he was whining in his high chair, and I had the job of clearing the table. So I picked up a milk jug which had a fundamental design flaw, and that was the inside was white, and milk in most continents is also white. So I cheerfully tipped the milk over his head, but unfortunately I didn't expect there to be milk in the jug, and so we then had, instead of a sobbing child, a soaking, sobbing child. Fortunately, I didn't pour all of it out. He was extricated and re-liveried for the meeting, and in order to redeem myself, I thought I will just finish clearing the table, so promptly emptied the rest of the milk jug into the cupboard. Jim has always had an interest in farming. When I left home to go and study, he took on the family farm. It was about 400 square feet of prime Lincolnshire lounge carpet. And in order to set him on the trail, we thought of everything with it. And without wishing to delve into politics, I think he had in mind to get Afton a Range Rover. But where he failed, I've succeeded. I think once he'd migrated from these, he took on the garden tractor, which was all about 8 horsepower. Our late dad would rejoice to hear it being revved all evening, any day of the week, as Jim sort of did laps of the lawn. Sometimes cutting the grass, but mostly not. Yes, I don't know there's much else I could add. Obviously, our dad did not make a great age, and his concern really was that Jim would do well. And I guess all those lads sort of feel a bit of responsibility for him. And so I'm glad that we can leave him in safe hands. Yeah, I remember when Jim asked me if Dad would get better, and of course the answer was maybe he won't. But I'm glad that Jim has done as well as he has, and I think Dad would be really happy to think that he's come back to almost where the family in recent history began over at Entwistle. So we're really, yeah, I think it has a happy ending. I guess it would also be fair to say, as I passed through a shop yesterday, well no, actually it was early in the week, I saw a little packet of things and I thought of Jim and Afton, I thought, maybe one day they'll have little ducks of their own. But now, just for now, maybe they can play with these and it'll help to prevent them making any mistakes. The gentleman said, "Are you sure 4 will be enough?" And I said, "I hope so." We call them rubbers at home, but I think that might lead to misunderstandings. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Charles. Sorry for making you go so early. You're a trooper for going so early. Thank you very much. I guess next up, we're going to call up Jim's mother, Ruth.
Well, I suppose the first thing I'd like to say is to welcome Afton to the new Mrs. Emberton. We hope that she'll be very happy to be part of our family. They've often been referred to as the crazy Embertons, but I hope it won't be too much for her. Afton did spend a little while with us when she came to England for a time, and we were very happy to have her. We also appreciate very much the welcome that the family have given us here. And when James first said that he had a Canadian girlfriend, I said, "But what part of the country?" And he said, "Edmonton." I really couldn't believe that of all the world, and suppose all of Canada, that James would come to so close to where his grandmother was born and where his father was very anxious to come and see the place where his mother was born, and that to think that James will now be in this same area, that it really is very special to us. 7 years ago, when I married David, James became not one of 5 but one of 6, and had another sister, Helen. Helen and Keith couldn't be here because they just recently had a new baby called Duffy. But all the family were so happy to have another sister, and Helen would love to have been with us today. Canada seemed a long distance away, and in fact when Grandma used to talk about Canada, it really did seem the other side of the world. But now with WhatsApp, we're able to keep in very close contact, and it's very nice to now have been able to see the things that James talked about, and the things that are special and precious to him. And when James was born, he was a beautiful baby, and he was very much loved by all his siblings. We've got a very special picture of him sitting on a toy dog, and all of them so happy around him. Of course, there were years when I was trying to guide James on my own, and they weren't all happy days, but I'm glad to say that there's been a happy outcome from it, and we're very pleased to see you now so settled here. And when Charles got married, his father-in-law said, "It's not just about a union of 2 people, it's a union of families." And now we're glad to have a part with the families over here, and we shall be very interested to now follow the activities that are going on and the different ones that we've met. And so we would like to appreciate the double bond that unites James and Afton, that it's not just a natural one but a spiritual one also, and we know that as they keep God first in their lives, that they can be happy and can enjoy what we've enjoyed through the years.
Just gonna do a quick check on supper. Might be good news, might not be. Okay, fair enough. Without ado, I would like to welcome up Aaron Verby. Cousin Aaron. Get him, Tiger.
I don't know where to start. I have a lot. It's a lot easier for me to talk to 300 teenagers than it is to talk to a whole crowd of people. But just kind of thinking about what to do for a speech, or even what to do in general. An old friend of mine used to write a poem for every single couple if you go to their wedding, and you don't want to hear me. I'm very challenged with my vocabulary. I know I'm a teacher, but it's just sometimes it's not great. And then I thought, well, maybe I could do a PowerPoint presentation, but honestly, what the treat that you're in for later compares nothing that I could ever do. So please stay around for that. Finally, I just said, well, I just got to do a speech because that's just what I have to do. But anyways, so I came up with a few things. During the end of the school year, I'm a teacher. Teachers talk about teaching, sorry, just what we do. There's usually the grade 12s will graduate from school, and very often they have this thing where they say, well, they're like, what you're going to do in the future, like most likely to, or those kinds of things. So I got sitting around with my siblings and sister-in-law, and we just got talking about some things about most likely to. So for Afton, most likely to be sponsored by Red Bull or become their ambassador, but she did say this afternoon that she's quitting, so we might have to. Okay, we have quit. Sorry. Next is Afton is most likely to be stopped in North Carolina and taken to jail for excess speeding, or a game we both like to play while driving called Bob and Weave. And there's a huge story behind that, and I won't bore you to death, but honestly, it was so bad that we were stopped by the police, and because he had it's okay. It's in the past. So it doesn't matter. That's the old you. It's not the new you. Anyways, yeah, we were literally stopped, and because of an incident in the morning, he was not taking Afton to jail. And honestly, my response to when he asked me, how can you what were you thinking when you were driving with her? And I'm just like, oh, I'm used to it. Not the thing to say to the cops. Next, Afton is most likely to make a celebrity comeback on the Goth Talk show, because honestly, your first appearance in 2002 was legendary. Legendary. Cousins will know what I'm talking about. Also, you will be most likely to be crowned, and you actually may have been crowned Sundry's next top model. Next, you're most likely to be required by law requiring multiple driving lessons with OKO driver education. And you can see Uncle Alvin, or Dad, for further details. Afton's also most likely to trend on YouTube for the following actions: diaper bobbing, ditch surfing, synchronized swimming, and a shout out to our 2016 Kalamalka Lake swim team. You know who you are. Also, most likely to take a mystery pie to convention, and I apologize in advance to the workers that are present. I hope you don't get that pie. Anyways, on that note, also, thank goodness Jim can cook. Anyways, all this funny business aside, Afton would definitely win the award for being the most caring, funny, gracious, spiritually minded friend, cousin, teacher, sister, and now wife. Try not to get emotional. Keep it together. Anyways, and Jim, welcome to the family officially. Honestly, you feel like you've been part of the family the entire time. You fit in perfectly, honestly. It's kind of crazy. And I'm not sure how this joke is going to go, but in school we use a lot of acronyms, and we know Afton is Afton Lee Ramsey. And so right now, was. But Jim, now you have finally found your very own perfect ginger ale. A. Afton Lee Emberton.
Okay. Next up, we are going to have another one of Jim's groomsmen. Don't confuse him as a Brit. Very clearly wanted to be known as a out south Irishman. A man who can bake is a man who's going to give us a speech. So please welcome Ashley.
I might be able to bake, but I'm not sure I can do this. First of all, I'd like to thank Afton and Jim and the Ramseys for inviting us here for this and for the very generous welcome from all. I'm honoured to have been asked to be part of this celebration today, and it wasn't until we were all together that it became obvious why we were asked. And that was so that Jim would look as the fit and handsome one. Obviously Afton didn't have to worry about such things, as you can agree. They all complement each other. As you know, I'm not related to the Ramsey, possibly in the minority here, or related to Jim, but I would class myself as a very good friend. I've known him a long time, possibly longer before he grew up than after he grew up, because I feel that has only just happened today. No, seriously, I know things about Jim that only I know. And he knows things about me that only he knows. So to cut a long story short, the end. Ever since I first met Jim, there's always been a competitiveness between us. Not just because he's English and I'm Irish, but when it comes to choosing a wife, I'd have to give you that one. It's 1-0 to you, Jim. I've not seen Jim so happy and at home as he is here. As everyone can see and have witnessed, that this is his home now. And our loss is your gain. I can't sit down without telling you the one about the Englishman, the Irishman, and the Scotsman. But I just couldn't find the one where the Englishman comes out on top.
Thank you very much, Ashley. I think we might have time for the Emberton family to perform a vocal piece if they are all willing and ready. Maybe put that now if they're willing. So please welcome Jim's relatives that all traveled many miles. They've all got wonderful singing voices, including Jim. They're going to sing a piece for us.
So in Lincolnshire, there's a folk song that's sort of the signature tune of Lincolnshire, and it's been subtly modified to accommodate Jim. I hope he has as much fun listening to it as we've had writing.
Hello? Are we ready for supper yet? Okay, in that case, go ahead. Okay. I guess we are going to ask David Crane to come up and give us a grace.
We bow our heads, please. Our Father, we thank Thee for this special day. We thank Thee for the unity of Thy Holy Spirit that's brought us all together. And we pray that Thou bless this food tonight and bless us as we leave this place. guide us and keep us safe. We ask for Jesus' sake.
So,
We'll let the head table go up and serve themselves first. Okay, leave your little plate.
leave your little plate for dessert. Tasty pies. Tasty, tasty pies. Head table's gonna go first, and then we got a little game for you guys. You might think you might just go in table order, table 1 to 8. No, not happening. This game is for those who keep the weirdest things in your pockets, in your purse. So be ready. The first one who brings us each of these items will be going next and following after.
All these items represent Jim and Afton in some way, so see if you can guess how.
Be ready. Game face on.
As you're digging into your pate, we're going to start the scavenger hunt just so you can get all excited. So the first item is whoever brings us a price tag. That one represents Afton.
Could be new or used. Doesn't have to be clothing. Just has to be a price tag. Oh, we got a competitor.
It does.
It does.
You qualify. What table are you? 2's up first.
Table 2 is up first. Wait till they sit a little bit longer, or till they do their stuff a little longer.
So we'll break off here, and then we'll resume when the speeches resume.